Thank you for your interest in CorpusChat.com. In this short video, I would like to introduce to you one of the Corpus search functions available on this platform, which is frequency. But before this, let me explain to you the rationale behind this. CorpusChat is supported by Sketch Engine to allow AI to conduct textual and language analysis of corpus. And we know corpus is actually helping us to understand how real language is used in its authentic context. If you're on Sketch Engine, you will receive rich data. For example, let's say if you're interested in the word literature, and then it will shows you how this word is used in keyword in context in the middle of a sentence, and then you have to find out how the words are used before and after, how it is used in a context. And then such rich data actually requires certain technical knowledge in order to allow us to gain insights into the language used and to interpret the answers from the corpus data. This explains why I would like to integrate AI with Corpus and having this CorpusChat.com. So now let me explain to you, first of all, the function of frequency. After you have successfully logged in, you have to find out which chatbot you would like to talk to. Right now, we have 3 chatbots available on this platform. Let's say you have dentistry students and you're interested in knowing about the language used in this discipline, and you can click the button chat. Okay, for frequency, we know that is actually counting the words of raw frequency or even part of speech text used in a corpus. This is where you can type the question. Let's say, give me the top 10 words on the frequency list in the corpus. It will just take a very quick time for you to receive the answer from the AI. And we know that if we can have the ideas about certain words, frequencies, and how they are used, it can really help us to know which words are representative in a corpus. That means that in a specific discipline or domain. Okay? Then wait and see. Usually on the corpus interface, it will show you a list of the words and also the actual occurrences. And then right now, all you have to do is just to ask AI, okay, some simple questions, and that it will provide you with the answers. All right. Now, it really depends on how big the corpus is. Okay? This corpus, dentistry corpus, is roughly almost 600,000 words. Now you will see the answers is like this. Here are the top 10 words in the frequency list of the corpus along with the respective frequencies. And it just shows you the actual occurrences because I haven't specified whether it is the raw frequency or normalized frequency. Later I'll explain a bit more about this. And then you will see they're all grammar words, which makes sense. Okay, and then, okay, you may want to have a follow-up. Let's say, okay, give me the examples and present them in a table. Because it's not just only knowing which words are frequently used. You would like to know how they're actually used. Of course, okay, you have to make use of another function, which is concordance, okay? But here, okay, you can ask AI this question. And again, okay, you just wait for a short while, and it just shows you some of the examples of these 10 words from the frequency list. Okay, for example, we know that the is the most frequently used, 16,436 actual occurrences, and then for each of them, it gives you one example. Okay. And then, okay, actually, you can ask some other questions because, okay, you may want to know the content words instead of the grammar words here. So you can say, okay, give me the top 10 content words in terms of raw frequencies and normalized frequency. Okay. in the corpus. Now, I would like to make a distinction between raw frequencies and normalized frequencies. Raw frequencies will be the actual occurrence, that is, we count the actual number of times a word or a phrase that occur in a text or in a corpus, while normalized frequencies is important, especially we want to compare a word across different registers. So we have to make sure the counts are comparable. Okay, and then you want to specify content words because you really want to know which technical or discipline specific words in this corpus. Now here we have some very interesting answers. We have the top 10 content words, and then we can see tooth. This word is the most frequently used word in this dentistry corpus. And then we have the actual times being 1,735, while normalized frequency per million tokens. If later you want to compare that across multiple corpora on this platform, then that information would be very useful. And this makes perfect sense because don't forget, this is not just general corpus and this is a dentistry corpus. So tooth can be very representative here and really help you if you're dentistry students or if you really want to know more about this discipline. Okay, and then you can actually make use of this information to ask AI, for example, give me the concordance examples of the word tooth, let's say. So this will be explained in details in another short video. Now, let's say, okay, for example, you want to compare two words, okay, tooth and caries, and we know these two words are also frequently used in the dentistry discipline. So you can say compare the nominalized frequencies and usages of these two words, tooth and caries, in the corpus. This will be very interesting. And then actually, we also have some of the questions like, okay, whether tooth and caries a color case. Okay, in another short video, I'll explain a little bit more about color case. And very quickly, it shows you the comparison. Actually, it's quite close, the number in terms of raw frequency, which again makes sense because they're representative of the dentistry discipline. And here we have the usage examples. And then this is what we can get from the corpus. And then we know that actually it is used together with enamel, the tooth enamel leading to some sort of disruption, or the tooth surfaces. If later you want to find out more about collocation, then you can ask AI the questions, for example, which are the common collocations of the word tooth? But I'll explain and demonstrate this in another short video about collocation. And here we have some of the examples of caries. And then it will tell you, it's not just only showing you the examples, but providing you with insights about the usages. The word tooth has a higher raw and normalized frequency than caries, indicating it appears more frequently in the corpus, and also suggests a broader context. While carie will be a more common topic in dental health literature, and also always related to, for example, the dental cavities, which means that tooth seems to be more used in general discussion, while caries will be more specifically discussed, or maybe even sometimes can lead to negative connotations as well. Caries, because we know that actually it's not just only tooth, but it has some problems and tooth decay, not just only tooth. And sometimes we know that for some words, it can be used as a verb or as a noun. If you go back, then you will see that for the top 10 content words, actually study, this word is ranked number 2. Okay, and then you may wonder, okay, why it is ranked number 2, even its raw frequency is higher than tooth. It's mainly because of the normalized frequency. Remember, this is actually more accurate if we want to make sure that we're not just counting the actual number of times, but per million tokens. And then we can say study, okay? Then perhaps you can ask the question, the word study can be used both as a verb and a noun. Compare their frequencies and usages in the corpus. Okay, this is the question that you can ask because you are not quite sure. Even we know that study can be used as a verb or as a noun, but you don't know whether this is common or conventional in the dentistry discipline. And then you would say that yes, okay, it can actually function both as a verb and also as a noun in terms of the frequency. And it shows you the examples like here, defined it as the study. Here we have a source reference, okay, which is cited as a study in the literature review of the dentistry paper in this corpus. And then we also have verb, okay, and it will provide you with a summary. So I hope that this video will give you some quick ideas about how you can know more about frequency, and such consultations can be made more interesting and less technical and more straightforward and simple. Okay, thank you very much.